Hi everyone, this is Norm from the Board Game Museum, and today I'm going to be reviewing and showing you how to play the game Wild Gardens. Now in Wild Gardens, you are going to be playing the role of a forager that is going to be going through the woods to collect different ingredients like mushrooms. And then what you're going to do is you're going to try to use those ingredients to try to create recipes. And then from there, you're going to go ahead and try to serve different people that are looking for different types of meals and food, and that can offer you benefits. So let's check it out. Okay, so we have many things to go over in this game, and we'll just get started. Right over here is your main player board, and there's a path that has arrows, and this is going to tell you where you'll be able to go. And over here, all over the board, these are going to be different food items that you can get. You can get mushrooms, leaves, berries, onions, a lot of these different things. And right over here, each person is going to receive a forager. And you're going to have the first player set it up next to the statue, and then the other players are going to go and set up adjacent to them. So what you're going to be doing in the game is this. You're going to be collecting these food items, and then you're going to try to see if you can make these recipes over here. That'll score you these little victory points. And then you're going to try to serve these recipes over here to people that are going to be eating them. Now over here on these cards, these are going to be symbolizing different things like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then on these cards, this is going to be telling you what these particular people are looking for. So for example, Brooklyn over here would like to have this type of a dish over here. So this will be able to be served to her, for example. Right over here, these are the food items that are going to be needed in order to make them. So this is going to need 3 mushrooms, for example. Now the cards over here are going to give you a clue as to ingredients that are going to be on the recipe. So this is going to have this ingredient, for example. And then right here, these are going to be all of the food items that you're going to be getting by foraging. You're going to use these tokens to pick them up. You'll have 2 items here. You're going to have a pollinator token and then a jar. The pollinator tokens are going to be scored with these over here, and the jars are mainly going to be scored with these icons over here that are going to be on certain customers. Pollinator is going to move over one at a time, and then the jars are going to go follow the jars, and you're going to combine those 2 scores together. Over here, this is the location board. In the beginning, you're going to turn over one of these cards, and it's going to have something that everybody's going to do. This says at the beginning of each day in player order, gain 3 of the current main ingredient, or discard 1 card into your reserve cards to gain 3. So this is something that everybody will be able to do. On this side, this is going to be used when you're trying to rest, and this just simply means whenever you have used all of your player tokens over here, you're going to move one of them over into one of these areas, which I'll talk about. You're going to go ahead and claim one of these areas with your token. So if I were to use the 3 over here, I would place it here and get this ability. And finally, this is the library area. These are going to have different books. Next to these books, there's going to be an ability, and I'll talk a little bit about these later, but you'll be able to pick up the ability after you've gotten ahead and gotten the book. So over here is your player board. You've got sections that you're going to be able to place library books, 3 sections over here for ingredients, cooked recipes, and reserve cards, and these different actions, which I'll talk about. You also have a jar symbol over here. You're also going to receive 2 free skills. You'll be able to trade 3 matching ingredients to gain 1 of your choice. You'll also be able to return library books by placing a matching ingredient to return it. You're also going to be receiving 5 of these tokens over here. The number over here represents how many spaces you're going to move. And you also have a wild token over here. So let's say I take the 2 and I place it over here in the ingredients section. So I'll go ahead and move my forager 1, 2. This will allow me to forage 2 ingredients. And I can forage anything that is adjacent to this path. So I could do this one, or this one, or this one. So I'm going to look over here and see what I have. And let's say I decide I'm going to do one of these. And then I'll go ahead and get one of these. Then I'll go ahead and place the ingredients on the board. Now, anytime I'm in a picnic area, this is going to give me the opportunity to either cook or serve. So let's say I placed a token over here where I can either cook or serve. Now, cooking basically means I'll be able to go ahead and cook a recipe. Say I wanted to turn these tokens in. This is the cost, and I will go ahead and get the Red Bud spring rolls. Then I'll go ahead and place it over here. So then I'll go ahead and score those points. So I will go ahead and go 2 on that, and then the card will go ahead and get replaced. I'll also be able to serve a person the recipe. I look at these 2 ingredients over here and then the type of meal it is, and Rosa over here meets these requirements. So if I wanted to serve her, I could go ahead and pick this card up. I'll turn this in, and then I will go ahead and place this card over here. So I'll score 1 here, and then I'll get a jar as well. And then this one has an ability. It says when served, gain 3 of these ingredients. So I'll go ahead and gain those 3 ingredients and then put them up here like so. Also, you'll be able to reserve cards. I want to go ahead and reserve a card. I would just simply pick up one of these cards. Let's just say I pick this one up and I put this here, and I can have a maximum of 3. And then the other one here is getting a library book. So if I wanted to get a library book, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at where I am over here and look at what I can forage. So then what I'll do is I'm going to look over here at these books, and for example, this has a mushroom on it, so I'm near a mushroom, so I can go ahead and pick up this book. I will go ahead and put the book over here. I can have 2 of these books, and then I'm going to go ahead and pick up this little token over here. Now these tokens all have different symbols on them, and what you can do is you can go ahead and place it over here on your board like so. So if you choose this foraging action, for example, you'll also be able to get this action. And here's a list of all of the actions that you can get in this area. You go ahead and you'll replace this. Now if you want to ever return a book, what you will do is you'll simply pay a matching ingredient and then put the book back like so. Now after I've used all my tokens, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and rest. I'm simply going to pick a token up, and let's say I pick up the 3, and I'm going to place it right over here. So now this is going to be out of play until I reach the end of an entire trip. I'll have these 3 days, and then that will end the trip, and then I'll have to do it again. So these will be out of play until I start the second trip. This particular one will grant me a mushroom, and then this will allow me to move a jar in my play space. Now whenever everybody has gone ahead and placed their tokens and stuff, and you've done 3 days, you'll get to the end of the trip. Now when you get to the end of the trip, you're going to go ahead and take back all of your tokens and then begin a new trip. You'll also flip this over and get your new location, and then you'll go ahead and follow that. And so once you've gone ahead and completed day 3 of the second trip, this is going to go ahead and start to end the game. So what you'll do is you'll add together the star victory points on the pollinator, and then also on the jar token. Any game end abilities that your guests have, you'll add those as well. Every 4 ingredients you have, you'll add a victory point to that, and whoever has the most amount of victory points is going to be the winner. My brother Craig is a big-time forager. He would go into the woods and he would go and forage a lot of things like shiitake mushrooms, and he had a business where he would actually go ahead and get these foods and sell them. So I decided I wanted to show him this game because he loves to forage, and one thing he told me was that every single ingredient that he saw he was familiar with, and a lot of the recipe cards that he saw he was also familiar with. He was interested in some of the other recipe cards that he had not heard of. The accuracy of this game, I believe, can be verified by him. It's very accurate. There's a lot of different types of ingredients that you can get. There's tons of different types of cards. There's a lot of different cards that will make a lot of different things with those ingredients. And I think anybody who enjoys foraging and likes to make those kinds of foods should check this game out just for that. It's very accurate. The game itself is not very difficult to learn. Essentially what you're doing is you're going to be collecting ingredients, and then you're going to be going ahead and making recipes by picking up the recipe cards, and then you're going to go ahead and serve the different people that are looking for different things. Now, the people that you end up serving are going to have different abilities. Some are going to have endgame scoring. Some are going to allow you to discard a card to do something. Other cards will give you a benefit once you end up serving them. So there's different things you're going to be able to do when you get those customer cards. I like the idea of the library. Whenever you're able to get a book, you'll be able to get another token and then add it into one of your selections. So you'll be able to get some extra bonuses like that as well. I do wish the game did come with a reference sheet for all of these tiles, because there's a lot of them. I really like the theme, having those cards that give you those different locations where you're going to be foraging, and then it gives you a little bonus, and then you also have those times when you're resting and you'll be able to get a bonus from there as well. It's a cool little system. It's not very difficult to learn. There's just a lot of different symbols in the game that you just kind of have to get familiar with as the game is progressing. But it is an enjoyable game. I think anybody who enjoys gardening games, I think, would like this, especially if you are somebody who really enjoys nature and being able to go out and get different ingredients like ramps and just make foods, because our family has done that before. So I think it's a good game. It's got a lot of the mechanics that you typically see. It's got end-game scoring. It's got immediate effect. Not only does the game have a unique theme, but it's also accurate, at least according to my brother. So anyway, guys, that's my review of Wild Gardens. We'll see you. Keep on gaming.